So that was okay. The one with Instagram was kind of sharp. Let's see if we can fix that one, Bobby. Hello, guys. Just trying to get him into my small view here. So you're there. See you. Sorry. See, he close to me. Good evening, everybody. I'm giving everybody some time to come in. It is quite early. It's 8:31. I have a special guest with me tonight, which is Padre, my husband. I'll introduce him in a little bit. Interesting topic tonight. There's some time for people to come on. It's taking a lot for him to be here. A lot of people don't believe that it's hard to talk when you're on social media. I've been asking so many people to come on and do a live, and everybody like, I don't know, I can't do it. Especially when it's talking about something so sensitive as mental health or sharing some personal information. So big up to my husband for coming on here tonight to share some information. Give everybody a couple more seconds. No tea tonight, guys. It's too hot. And I don't like iced tea. I don't like it. Water. Yeah, in fact, they had a selling wall. It's the sales everywhere for water, but I think I'm going to try to run back tomorrow early in the morning and get some more water. So it'll be tomorrow for me. I'm trying to stash some water. I drink a lot of a gallon a day, so. A little bit more time, try to get people to come on or wait for people to come in. Before I do my midweek check in, see how everybody's doing. Yeah, he can lay back. I can't do that. I need my back to be up at a 45 or at least 75-degree angle. I had a stress knot on the back of my neck there for a while. I was slumped over like this and didn't know I was slumped over like that. So my doctor was telling me. So I have to make sure I'm sitting up straight. Like your mom said, you sit up straight, girl. I got to make sure I'm sitting up straight so that stress lump doesn't come back there. And believe me, it's painful. Hence, that's why I try to keep my hair up and cut. Okay. Check. What your head not in the shot. See, you got to stay inside. Okay. All right. You're around Murray fussing with him. Let's go ahead and do that mental health check-in and midweek check-in. I posted that early today, and it's always bright on YouTube. It's always bright on YouTube. I posted a yellow heart today. I'm kind of a lot been going on. So much has been going on. Too hot. Can't drink enough water to cool down. People are angry some places. The president going out of his mind. Things are going on. People went back to work in the city of Philadelphia. So the buses are crowded. The roads are kind of crowded in the morning. Little frustration from people. So I put, my yellow heart up there. So do your mental health check-in. If you're feeling like you're doing great, put up that red emoji heart. If you're feeling okay, put up a blue emoji heart. Like me, if you're feeling mild, MEH, put up a yellow emoji heart. If things are tough and you're struggling, put up a green emoji heart. If you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone reached out to you, put up that purple emoji heart. I will reach out to you at the end of the show. If you're in a really dark place, put up that broken red emoji heart. If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, put up that pink emoji heart. If you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, put up that orange emoji heart. If you're feeling like crap with the crappy poopy emoji, put up that brown emoji heart. If you're having some mixed emotions, blankness and innocence, minimalism, put up that white emoji heart. My girl, Miss Carla, she always puts up that gray emoji heart. She's feeling cool and self-restraint. So I'm seeing if she's coming on. I want to pop on here tonight. If you're feeling relaxing and friendly, put up that light blue emoji heart. If you're having some sadness and anger, put up the black emoji heart. So, babe, what you say you would be feeling? What would you say on here?
Say okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say okay.
So that's that blue emoji heart?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. He's feeling okay today. After almost a late start to his day. He got up late because he pushed that snooze button again. So I'm going to introduce him because, I like to talk a lot and he's not the talker, which is, opposites of we're yin and I'm yin and yang. He's just yin. But this is my husband, Stephen Evans. He's not originally from Philadelphia. He's from down south. Where you originally from? Virginia. What part? Suffolk. So he still got that country accent, right? He's been up here how long?
22 years.
22 years. Country accent. He is a maintenance carpenter. He works for PSDC. They do a lot of maintenance around the city. What's one of the things that you're most proud of in your life? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, my daughter been born.
Number 2.
Getting married. Definitely getting married.
I was going to say the most thing that I'm proud of him for is him being a Christian man.
Oh, well, go with that question.
Christian man, that's what
number 1.
Practically to him, he's a Christian man. He spits a lot of Bible at you at one time. Matter of fact, the first time he called me, he was spitting some Bible at me. So our topic tonight is split between the two, the foster parenting system and your biological parenting. Separation between identity, questions in your childhood, and possibly some resentment in your adulthood in your life once you go through that. And it was a great topic. We were at a vending event and we were talking. It was at a church. I was talking to a young lady there, and she had disclosed that she was in foster care growing up. She was Hispanic. She was a Latino female, beautiful woman. She was actually supposed to be on our show tonight. Again, sometimes you get the jitters when these things come up. And her and my husband was supposed to speak tonight. We was going to have a female's perspective and a male's perspective. And she was raised by an African American female. And she had a different experience as far as the foster care system was concerned. Her foster mother, she's still in contact with her foster mom. She really loves her foster mom, but her mother, whom she's trying to get close to, she doesn't really have a close relationship with her, and she thinks her mom doesn't like her. Mom hates her. And so we were talking about that, and I was like, really, because a lot of people that I'm coming to see in their adulthoods, some of them have been in the foster care system, and some of the stories are not really good, and some of the relationships with the parents are not really good. And I was like, I want to have somebody come on the show and talk about it. And my husband's like, I want to come on the show and talk about his story. So before we get into Stephen's story, I'm a nerd. I said every time I come on here, right, I'm a nerd. So children in foster care often struggle with issues of trust, attachment, anxiety, faced with significant emotional difficulties, such as lack of self-worth and the need to be in control, which can make it hard to establish healthy, loving relationships. Children into foster care when they are unable to safely live with their families due to abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Many other reasons as well. Parents may have substance abuse issues. There might be inadequate housing. A parent might be incarcerated. There might be some juvenile offenses. The child might run away often. Truancy might happen at home. There might be some medical neglect. There might be some physical or sexual abuse. Now, foster care is supposed to be temporary, right? It's supposed to provide a substitute family for the child in their life when there's a crisis in the home. Foster families work with placing with the agency to for parental care for the child. The goal is always to help the child to be placed back with the family. That's the goal of fostering a child. Sometimes that doesn't happen. The child should be placed with a relative. Sometimes they're placed with a non-relative caregivers. Sometimes they're placed in group homes, institutions, or in supervised and independent living homes. Children in foster care are in systems for a short time sometimes, and sometimes for a long period of time, until they're able to return home to their families. So, how did you end up in foster care? What happened? Tell your story.
Well, I ended up in foster care. Okay, speak up. Well, my mother was an alcoholic, so I guess she couldn't take care of us. So, that's how I ended up in foster care. And my mother was alcoholic, my dad was alcoholic. So we ended up in foster care. It was 10 of us. It was 10 of us.
How old were you when you first got in foster care?
Ever since I can remember, so I guess I was a baby because ever since I can remember. Yeah, I was with the first foster home. Her name was Virginia, Miss Virginia Warren. So I called her Aunt Virginia. So it was me, my younger brother Tyrone. We was in that foster home together, but I was bad. So she sent me away, but I was still within the family. I went to her sisters. Yeah, I went to her sister. So yeah, I stayed.
You still seen your brother when you was with? So they split you up.
Yeah, because I was bad. So she sent me to her sister because she had foster kids too. But yeah, we was in the same family. So I still see my brother. Yeah, we still had a relationship.
Yeah. And when you said you was bad, was you acting out? What you talking about? You were bad.
Yeah, I was bad. I would go to school. I would fight. I would take money out of her pocketbook. I was just bad. I guess I don't know. I was bad.
Did the parent? What did she ask? Miss Virginia, Aunt Virginia asked what was going on, what was happening at the time, why?
No, I can't really recall. I don't. Yeah, I just know I went to her sister house, to her sister's home. Yeah.
And how long did you stay with the sister?
Until I was 17. I stayed there until I was 17, and it was good there because she was married. So her husband, which was Uncle George, he used to keep her off of us. But when her husband died, that's when all hell broke loose. She was very mean to us. So when she left the house, we would have to stay outside until she came back. So one day, it was 3 of us. We said, well, look, we can call the social worker and tell them we don't want to be here and explain to the social worker what's going on. So the social worker, they got word of it. So they put us to another foster home, which was with this lady named Aunt Mo. And she was 75 when she took 3 foster kids in. She was 75. But she took 3 foster boys in. She never had a son. So she always wanted a son. So that's how we ended up there.
So you went from newborn with Aunt Virginia to Aunt Virginia's sister's house to being with Aunt Mud.
Right.
So you were three different women.
Yeah, right, yes. Yep.
And so from Aunt Virginia, you was with your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Aunt Virginia, which is the sister, you was by yourself.
Yeah, we went to the sister. She had foster kids there, so she had.
But you wasn't with your siblings.
No, I wasn't with my siblings, no.
So it was just you by yourself.
Yes.
And then when you went with Aunt Mo, it was you by yourself.
Yeah, it was me by myself. Although, like I said, it was 3 other. Yeah, it was 3 others. Me, Johnny, Tyrone. Yeah, it was 4 of us.
Did you know where your sisters were? Your siblings were?
Well, no, at the time I really did. I knew I had sisters, real, biological sisters, but we wasn't in contact because, like I said, at this time, my older sister, she was in Philadelphia. My aunt brought her up here when she was a baby, so I knew I had family, but I wasn't in contact with them. No.
So when it says that they try to place you with relatives, did they try to place you guys with relatives in the family, or was that not possible?
Well, my mom had like a lot of sisters and brothers too. I really don't know why they didn't take us in. I have no idea. I don't know.
Were they living in Virginia, or they were
Yeah. No, from Virginia. Everybody from Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they. I don't know why they didn't reach out and take their sisters' kids. And I have no idea.
So moving from one house to another is new rules, right? New rules, new people,
Right.
new schools.
Right.
Stress. It can be stressful. Did you ever kind of like feel lonely? Or being shuffled around, like, this is not my home. I'm not going to settle down here at all at any time.
Well, to be honest with you, like I said, really like two foster home, but it was just a different system. But no, I really didn't, because it was always, like I said, I had my father brother Johnny.
Mhm.
It was always I didn't really didn't. No, I did. I can't say I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't know about it, like you said. But what do you call it? It's you attach from your feelings. I don't know. I didn't feel lonely though. No.
So you attach from your feelings.
Yeah, I guess that. Because like I said, I never knew my mother. I never seen my father, even to this day. Although he did, I never seen a picture of him. So if he walked past me, if he was alive, I wouldn't know who he is. So yeah.
So you was with Atmo for the longest.
Yeah, with Atmo for the longest. Yeah, till I was 25. Yeah, till she passed. Yeah,
until she passed.
Yeah.
Were you able to go to her?
Unfortunately, not. Circumstances.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, circumstances.
Talk about that as well, because there are some pros and cons to going into the foster care system. Like it says, why the reason why children go into foster care. The issues surrounding why, and there's some information that I was looking up as into, it was saying pay special more attention to African American or people with brown skin, as to why it's more prone or prevalent when things are reported that African Americans get into the system a little bit more. And I think I spoke about a story that I told a long time ago, when I first started out in outpatient services, and I had I did an intake with a mother and her child, and the child was decked out, had nice clothes on, sneaks and everything, and the mom was dressed nice, and I assigned the case, or her therapy case, to one of our she wanted the female, but the only female that was available was a Caucasian female. And we know how our brown kids can be. So this beautiful brown child went into the session with this Caucasian female and was like, we don't have no food in our refrigerator.
Ooh.
And we are mandated reporters, and this therapist reported it in, not thinking to ask questions. And when in doubt, report. That's what we do. When in doubt, report. And the mother came up there. The mother was furious. How dare you report me? Did you come and ask me? And did you see what they have on? She has Jordans on. She has this on. She has that on. Her hair is done. She has no problem with going back and forth to school. You could have asked me these questions. Now these people have to come to my home. And she had to leave her job, for them to come there and, see what was in her refrigerator and things of that nature. And I had to pull the therapist into my office and say, listen, I'm new at this too. But I know in my home, when my kids say ain't nothing in here to eat, because my kids did say things like that, there's something in there to eat. They just don't want to eat what's in the refrigerator. Right. So sometimes you have to learn the cultural slang of what's said in African American home versus a Spanish home versus just the cultural language of what's going on, so things like this won't happen. Ask more questions and things of that nature, because a sister wasn't playing with her child when this was going on. So they were saying that sometimes it's more directed that medical neglect, physical abuse, we're not going to get into the sexual abuse part, inadequate housing, truancy, runaways, all those things. Sometimes parents can't prevent some things from happening. Like down with the runaways and the truancy. You send your kids to school, you think they're home, and especially with social media now, they can do anything. They'll be anywhere. So we just have to be mindful and careful of the language. I know they were saying that it's like a couple of things that's prevalent when you are moved around in foster care. So, how was school for you?
Okay, for school for me it was well, I was in the band. And, well, actually, yeah,
A band,
I was in the band. Yeah, I played the bass drum. Yeah,
bass drum.
yeah, I played the bass drum. But school, now in school, let me see. I think I cut up a lot. So in the I'm gonna say the 10th. It was the 11th, maybe the 11th grade. Aunt Mo, which was the foster mom at the time, she seen that I wasn't really academically, I wasn't doing that, so she took me out of school and she put me into a community college. That way, I could get a trade and I could get my GED, which way I did. I got a trade, a certificate of welding, and I got my GED.
Okay.
So yeah.
He always talks about Aunt Mo,
Yes.
all her nice sayings and things, and I always like you need to write her stuff down and put it in the book, because you know she yeah she had some good sayings along, but they were saying that education is a big thing because sometimes when you move around from foster care to foster care to foster home to foster home, you go from school district to school district to school district, and you're never that child is never quite catching up to where they're supposed to be in math, arithmetic, reading, science, and all those things. So education, that child might be held back at a grade because of their performance poorly in school. And I'm glad that Aunt Mo picked up on that with you.
Yeah.
How about relationships in school? Many friends at all?
Well, we lived so far in the country, we was each other friends. Yeah, we were so far. When I went down to Morehouse, we were so far in the country that we was each other friends. We ain't really because it was the father was so far apart that we, like I said, it was 4 boys. So we would go in the woods, shoot our guns, go hunting, go fishing. So yeah, the friends I did have was as when I got older, when I left foster home, I only had one good friend. His name was Pete. Mm-hmm.
Now you said you went into foster care when you were around the baby.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Because that's all I ever knew. I never knew. Yeah, the only them 2 foster home with Aunt Virginia, with me, my younger brother, and yeah.
So when did you find out that Aunt Mo was not really your parenting or your guardian?
Well, not Aunt Mo. By this time, I already knew I was in foster home. I went to Aunt Mo when I was 17.
Okay. So when did you find out that Aunt Virginia was not like a family member?
When the social worker used to come and take us there, because they would have picnics for the foster kids, I pretty much knew.
How old were you?
Let's see what I really found out. Probably about 12. Yeah, about 12 years old. Yeah.
How did it go? Like, what was the feeling like for you as a kid?
I'm telling you, I really don't. It wasn't a feeling because, like I said, ever since I can remember as a baby. That's all. I don't know when I went to foster home. Was I like a newborn baby? Was I 6 months? So I guess that's my family. That was my family. I didn't feel no kind of way.
Hey, Pastor James.
Yeah, I don't think I felt no kind of way. But I know my brother, he called the mom. I called Aunt Virginia, but like I said, their relationship,
it's different.
Yeah, so that was his mom till she died.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his mom. Yeah, till she died. And yeah, so like I said, Aunt Virginia, I ain't never had nobody to call mom. I never had a mom that I could call mom. Yeah, like I said, he called her mom. It was Aunt Patricia and Aunt Mo. I never had. Yeah.
But you never had any thoughts like, where's my mom at? Where's my dad at? Why?
No, I know they were drunks. I already know. Yeah, because I'm saying we live in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew my mom was alcoholic. When I used to see her, I used to duck because I was at Burns. So yeah, I knew. Yeah, I knew. But I know there's nothing I could do about it,
And so they said with relationships, feeling guilty about being removed from the birth parent, that never at any time happened with you.
No, I was more so concerned about like if she got 10 brothers and sisters, why why they didn't step up. Why, like I did with my younger sister. When I knew she was going through a situation, me and my daughter mom, we took my two nieces, since I've been up here. We took my two nieces and we didn't tell her to give us no money. And we took them for 6 months until she came back and got them. So, I was more worried, like concerned about that. Why her siblings didn't step up. You see, he said, obviously she got a problem and she can't take care of her kids. Why y'all let them go to the foster, system? So, that's the thing, So yeah, I have resentment with that.
So that's where the resentment came first before.
Yeah, and that's not even with my mom, because I know if she got a situation, a problem, she was alcoholic, it is what it is. But if you got sisters and brothers that are not alcoholics, they weren't all alcoholics. Why they didn't step up? I'm not gonna let my sister kids go into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we did with my sister,
Mm-hmm.
my younger sister. We took both her kids, and when she got herself together, she came and got them. We didn't call her, "When you come get your kids?" Because they're my nieces. So we did the best we could with them. We ain't have much, but hey, if we got it, you got it. That's that was our attitude. So the same attitude.
I'm just doing my ear like this, y'all, because last it's raining, babe. Is it raining?
Not raining. I don't know, maybe. Let me look at it.
I always think it's raining. It's raining for a damn. I'm sorry. So we're saying that kids usually have a difficulty with relationships. And what was interesting to me is I posted a video from Eric Erickson earlier today. If you had a chance to check the video out, Eric Erickson is the guy, the theorist who he has psychosocial theory on. It sounds like it's raining now, so I'm not tripping. Okay. He has Eric Erickson has psychosocial the theorist. So he has the 8 theories: trust versus mistrust, that's from 0 to 1 years old; autonomy versus shame and doubt, that's from 1 to 3 years old. So you go through these phases in life from the ages you are. Initiative versus guilt, that's from 3 to 5; industry versus inferiority from 5 to 12. And then you have identity versus role confusion from 12 to 18. So I was thinking, you have, from his theory, if you don't go through trust versus mistrust from 0 to, I know the cat is not trying to jump, from 0 to, from birth, newborn to 1 year old, with a close relative, with your mother. That's the first. When you come out of the womb, the first person you want to attach yourself to is your mom, the maternal side. Now, if you can't attach yourself to your mom because you're taken away from mom because of abuse, because of neglect, because of inadequate housing, and you're with someone else, and you don't have that attachment to that person either, you don't have anybody that you're going to trust or you're going to mistrust. You just, there's a disconnect there. And so you're going to go through life. And so when you get to, that's what I was saying, in a child's mind, there's going to always be some questions in your life of, who do I trust? How can I trust? I don't want to be right. I want you to talk to me.
I thought you was talking to people. Okay, yeah.
I want you to talk to me. So did you have any times in your life?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
When you was in these in foster care, when you was saying, you like, so going from the aunt to Aunt Mo, what was the situation?
Well, okay. With my trust issue, it was never with, like I said, with even Aunt Patricia or Aunt Mo. I guess my trust is as I got from young adult to adulthood.
Okay.
Yeah, I never had no problem with my foster home because there was always, except for, like I said, when her husband died, I guess, But when I went to Aunt Mo, I never had no problem with trust. She showed us love.
Okay.
Because I even asked her, I said one time, I said, why do I attach to people so much? She said, maybe because of love you didn't get from your mom. You never knew your mom. So she told me maybe that's what it was. But then, like I said, my trust issues didn't come until I got into, like, let's say in the world. When I say in the world, like on my own. like from
That's
20,
20.
yeah, from 20 on. Yeah, that's what my trust issue. But as a kid, I ain't had trust issues because I think even though I was in foster homes, I had a good foster homes. I was fortunate that they wasn't ones that beat you. They didn't just take our money or don't give us our money. Aunt Mo taught me so many things in life and, gave me so much wisdom and stuff, Like whether I follow everything she gave me or not, but yeah, the trust issue wasn't with them. It was the outside world,
Okay.
yeah.
So it sounds like that you were cushioned a little bit, like everybody is. Everybody, when you live with your parents, and your parents tell you like when you get out there, the world gonna eat you up and spit you out. You see, it's definitely raining.
Yeah.
So I'm not going.
That's right.
I'm not over here tripping. All right. So then, young adults who age out, and this is what you're talking about, may face challenges like unstable housing, homelessness, lack of employment, involvement with the justice system. 20% become homeless. 3% earn a college degree by 26 years old. 13%, which is of the African American persuasion, in the United States population, 25% in youth in Philadelphia that's African American are in foster care. 25%. No, I'm sorry. That's in the United States. That's in the United States. It's 42% of the population. Philadelphia has 42% of the population and 65% of the youth that's in foster care in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has, again, let's read that, 42% of the population and 65% of youth that's in foster care. So if we're wondering why our youth and young adults are walking around here angry, I'm going to just sit there right there for just 1 minute. If we're wondering why our youth and young adults are walking around here angry, these children are in foster care. And as I was sitting today watching it on the news, every Wednesday a Wednesday child come on. And a Wednesday child is always a teenager. Teenagers are very difficult to place. Very difficult to place. They come with problems. They come with attitudes. Now, Stephen, you knew your biological parents.
Well, I knew who they were. I didn't know them, but I knew who they were. We didn't have no type of relationship. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how my mom's sister, because we was how she met me. My mom's sister, which was my aunt Barbara Jean. Anyway, I was in Suffolk. We was playing, me and my friends. We was probably about.
Hold on. Elaine said we were kids ourselves when you were all taken. That clears it up for you a little
Okay,
bit.
well, that clears it up then. Yeah, she right, because we probably the same age. See, I didn't know that. But anyway, how I first met my aunt Barbara Jean, we was kids. And we was playing baseball. So I think my aunt Barbara Jean, she came back. She was looking. She said, I know because we all, got that feature. My sisters, everybody got that feature.
Everybody look alike.
She said, is you got your she said, so your mom name Liz? I know my mom name. I said, yeah, my name Liz. She said, I'm your aunt. So from that point, because she used to live on Pitchkiller Road and she lived like 4 houses down. I never knew she lived down there. From that point, my sister Ruby, George, who she lived with, I used to go play with him all the time. They call him Pookie. His name is George, which is James, my cousin James that died, which is his brother. So that's how, yeah. So that's how I knew, Yeah.
So remember when I was saying, because we have so many different conversations. I tell him about things at work and things that just pop out. We must let our kids know. If you have children, like he has a child, he has just one child. I have 2. I have a godson. My daughter, both of my daughters, their fathers have children. And they both of them are the oldest of their father's kids. They know their brothers and their sisters. Because God forbid, this is a big world. It's a big, huge world that one day they're walking down the street or in the airport, in the mall, and they bump into their brother or their sister and they want to date them. This is a big world. So just like you were saying, you're playing with them and then you find out, this is your kid.
Yeah.
This is your kid.
Right.
So not knowing your bio parents or even understanding the reason why, you knew the reason why they weren't fit to take care of you guys,
right.
Due to substance use. The circumstances for the removal from from childhood, children can feel, and let me know if you felt any of these type of emotions. Abandonment.
Yeah, I felt that.
Go
ahead, my bad. So you said let you know. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead and do the list.
Children may feel abandonment, feeling unloved, worthlessness, some anxiety. There may be some trauma. They're like going again from one home to another home, not feeling stable, not. I had a story where a child never unpacked their suitcase, the bag they were living out of, because they said I never every time I tried to get comfortable at a place, they always moved me from another place. Nobody never wanted me. So that was trauma to the child. And there was a sense of grief for them and loss, trust issues, and a disconnect being with family. Any abandonment issues, any feelings of love, being worthless, any anxiety, anything like that. So when you went from the lady house that after she lost her husband and she was being really mean to you guys, she had a loss.
Yeah, right.
And she was being really mean to you guys, and you moved from that house to Mo house. Did you feel like any emotions like
No, we just wanted to get out of there because she was mean. I'm telling you, I really didn't. Yeah, we just because she was being mean. She locked us out, like I said. That we wanted to get out of there.
So it was a sense of relief.
Yeah, absolutely.
A sense of relief.
Yeah, like I said, we went to Mo house. It was a whole different story. And like I said, it's no even for me because I even tell my homies at work or my friends, it's never woe is me. I don't never have no self pity because what's happened is what happened. I tell people I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me because a man shouldn't want somebody to feel sorry for him. But hey, what happened happened. The facts is facts. But like I said, I guess how I look at some things like nonchalant. Even my, yeah, I don't know. I got to probably change that.
Or process it.
Yeah. I look at like even death. I look at death. But how we have it.
Lord have mercy, God. We don't want to go.
No, we don't want to go there. But yeah, I don't know. But that maybe could be from my upbringing. With love, I don't know.
And I was just
getting to work it out.
Yeah, teenagers are typically the hardest foster children to place with a family. Foster families fostering. They basically sometimes foster families fostering towards the goal of adoption. Sometimes, and a teenager is not who they are looking for to add to their families. We was watching, what movie was we watching? And the girl was like, "You better watch out. I'm going to try everything I can to make your life a living hell." What movie was that?
I don't know the name of it. I know it was on TV. I don't know the name.
Yeah,
so many movies.
It was good though. Yeah, it was. I think it was a Christian-based movie, and I was like, wow, she don't even like the girl. Like, she didn't even do nothing to her.
White,
yeah. The adopted family or the foster family, if they have children of their own, they feel some type of way. So the parents are okay, but now the siblings feel some type of way. You always bringing somebody in this house, and treating them better than you treating me. And so watch out, because when you in here, when my parents ain't looking, it's going to be something. She sort of she pulled. Did she pull a knife out on her? Give her a knife and say, "Watch your back" or something. I wish you would.
With a chest or threatening.
Yeah. So that can be some type of trauma. Like I didn't ask to be here. I'm in this tight situation where I want to go home. I want to be with my family. And now this child, this other thing right here is bringing me down. He needs glasses.
No, I was reading this in the comments.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying.
I can read it.
So when Aunt Mo died, what was difficult for you?
But at this time, when Aunt Mo died, I wasn't even staying there, and I was getting in trouble. So, like I said, it won't. I just know Aunt Mo died. We went to the, it wasn't there.
So when she died, you were not living with her anymore?
Yeah, I was there. But the time Aunt Mo died, Johnny, none of us wasn't living there. But yeah, we wasn't living there. So, nah.
How old were you when you left Aunt Mo?
25. Yeah, I think about 25 because I was hard-headed. Maybe 22. I don't know. Well, I know I got in welding school at Paul Community College. So I don't know about she take me to school. I was 18. I was like 24. I'm gonna say 24.
So in Virginia, it's kind of different because I know they age you out in Philadelphia. I think at 22.
Way down there, yeah, she does.
It's kind of different in Virginia.
Well, it's the same thing. But if you she really loved us, so she didn't put us out unless we was hard-headed, and didn't want to listen because she always wanted sons. I'm over to let her stay there long.
That sound like me with my babies. They ain't have to go.
Yeah,
but
she
they
wanted to put us out, and she not getting no money for us, but we working, we helping, we contributing. She was that type of person. She was down south. Southern people different. Yeah, they different. Yeah, they're different. What?
I'm giving him the Kermit the Frog look like.
Yeah, Southern people are different. Different.
Yeah, they a little bit. We say they a little slow though. We say they little.
Well, yeah, we slow. We say slow because we behind time, but we ain't slow as y'all think we are.
Well, they not slow as the people in Hawaii. I forgot what kind of music they was listening to down there. The 80s music down there in Hawaii.
Yeah. They more fat, yeah, they were.
But it says here, it says that foster parents have difficulties as well. I'll ask you that. 80% fail. So 80% of when they placing you in foster homes, they fail. Immediately, they take this kid back. Immediately, take this kid back. We don't want it. 1/3 report being abused by an adult child in foster homes, and this is from I got these statistics from the National Coalition for Child Protection Reform. 80% of the adoption things they fail. The foster care, they take them back, and 1/3 report being abused by adult in foster care. Now, it's not that hard to be a foster parent. It's not that hard. Just can't have some things in your record. You can't have someone living with you that's a convict that has any sexual abuse or anything like that. It's not that hard. You have to have a nice place for the child to be at, a nice room, things like that. It's not that difficult. And like he said, some people, and I've heard some horrific stories about foster parents, or they call them kinship care, because even kinship care is family members. So fostering and kinship care is a different thing. Fostering is somebody that you don't even have any blood of yours. Kinship care is somebody that has blood. That's an aunt, maybe a niece, a cousin, a sister-in-law, something in the family that's taking care of you and that's not really taking care of you. Just want to check.
I don't like that.
They just want to check.
That's why I said we was fortunate, because even what was that? It wasn't even about the money. And she was 75. 75-year-old, will take 14 teenage boys in. Yeah. And this was about love. She said she only wanted sons. She was great when she had a daughter, but she kept her. She said, I'm not going to, abort her daughter.
That was a blessing.
So she said, I only wanted sons. And when I said, when we went there, when she treated us like we was her family, and her people were the Applewhites. And they're from Suffolk, whoever from down there, know what I'm talking about. And they were pretty well off. But I'm saying when they treat us like family, I mean they treat us like family. It won't like we was fuck. Like OJ, who we went down there to my grandma birthday party.
Uh-huh.
He's not my blood cousin, but you see how he treated me? He said, I'm gonna lock the door for you on the phone. Go in, But yeah, so I mean that's the family who I came up in. And it was like I said, I was blessed. I had a good foster, That's why I guess, I ain't had no,
Did you ever look at Miss Aunt Mo as like a mother figure at any time?
Well, I looked at her more like a grandmother. She was 75, like a grandmother figure. And she said, everybody called me Aunt Mo. Because everybody called her Aunt Mo. Her name was Bozelle Thomas. So yeah, I looked at her more like like a mother to grandma. Yeah, because she took us to church. She did everything with us, did everything for us. Yeah, she was the best. I ain't met nobody like Aunt Mo since in 54 years. Yeah, she was the best. Aunt Mo was a beast. I can give it up to her. Yeah, she was good.
All right, so it's saying now we're going to be talking about the adult, but I still want to get into Erik Erikson's psychosocial stages. Infancy to adolescence they see it as the most important. It helps us better to understand ourselves and others and how to navigate the challenges of life and how we cope with such challenges. Like I said, trust versus mistrust, identity confusion, and how we identify with other people. If you miss any of those stages, faith, and you read my notes.
I'm listening to
my notes.
I'm listening to you.
In my notes. Just in my notes.
Hey, I'm listening.
Faith in the environment, and then future safety in events. So if you're removed from the home again, and this is coming from just a child's perspective, from a child, from newborn. If you're removed from the home, just imagine someone snatched you from your mother, and now you're with someone else. And it's not a warm transfer; it's a cold transfer. You know the temperature of your mother because you just came out of her body. You know the scent of your mother. And every child, even though the umbilical cord is cut, and I try to explain it to my husband sometimes, even though the umbilical cord with his mom was cut, there's still some type of connection, because that's what God gave us. God would have made that umbilical cord because that's a connection. That's a life connection, especially with women, because we are the nurturers. We are the nurturers. I know when my children hurt, no matter what. I don't care how old they get. I know when they hurt. So imagine a child getting snatched from the mother for whatever reason and getting a cold transfer. And that person can be loving and caring. They can be. They can be going into a good environment. They could be. It can be all good there. But that child, once that child grows up, they're going to have questions because they know through their DNA something's not right. Why mom's here is brown? Why this one here is this? I'm a little tall. My nose isn't that way. Something's not right. I had maybe 2 or 3 people come and say, well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you this, and my siblings was very mean to me growing up. They used to tell me that I was adopted. Both of them. My twin, how can I be adopted if I'm a twin? And my brother. Right. They used to tell me that I was adopted. Yeah, they were very mean to me. But it's just it's a connect. Like we're connected to the source. We're connected to the Father. I'm a Christian. We're connected to the Father. Once you get that connect back spiritually, that disconnect when you're doing something wrong, He automatically knows. You automatically like, oh Father, forgive me. You'll get that feeling. Let me pray for repentance. He's going to give you that correction. So down the line, as a child, you'll be questioning yourself. Why do I look different? Why is my eyes this? Why is that? I don't look the same as everybody else. Something as a child is going to stir up in you, right? You'll have confusion over who you are, what you really is. You'll move into your adulthood still feeling this disconnect, going through the motions in life. You'll be just lifing. Okay, that's my mom, that's my dad. These are the people that raised me. These are the people that took care of me. They watched me go through school. They seen important life stages in my life. They was there at my graduation. They was there at my prime. My dad walked me down the aisle, when I got married. All those things. But there's still something different. So that transition to adulthood and independent living from foster care, youth is extremely difficult as many experience low levels of support, which leads to increased risk of social exclusion, financial difficulty, and behavior problems. And this is what I'm talking about. When a child ages out of the system, they get nothing. When my kids wanted to leave home, before they left home, I taught them about bills. I used to show my kids. It's how mommy pay the bills. Put what you want to, what the bill. First of all, I'm going to pay my whole bill. I don't like owing Pico, the water bill. I'm paying the whole bill. If the bill $500, I'm paying $500. It better not be $500. So, but if the bill $250, I'm paying $250. I'm not putting half on anything. I didn't like how my grandma raised us. Let's rob Paul to pay Peter. I don't like to pay Peter. I'm not robbing nobody. I want to pay them all their money. I want to owe nobody nothing. When me and my husband got married, tell them the story. Remember? Yeah, what happened? I took you out to dinner. We went out to dinner.
Yeah. I mean, so much. Which story? Which one? It's been stories. I don't.
Well, I took him out to dinner when he moved in before we got married because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so we got married June 26th. So in May, it was I paid the last bill in June. So July, he was paying the bill. So I took him out to dinner and we were sitting down and I went to a buffet. I love buffets. He never went to this buffet before because he's not from around here. So I took him out to dinner and I set him down and he's eating his food and I pulled the big pile of bills out. He like, what you doing? I said, this is going to be my last time paying these bills.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to take over.
Yeah, you're right.
The bills. And I showed them. I paid it on this date, how much I paid, and I put them all together. And I paid all the bills on that day. Put the date, how much I paid, and I put them all together. And I gave them to him. I said they are at zero balance. So in July, it's your turn.
Leave it to the man to get behind, right? But you want to pay the whole bill.
I want to pay the whole bill that way.
Yeah. Put a little bit here, put a little bit there. Yeah, but I got it.
He getting the hang of it. Yeah. But the matter is, when these kids age out because they don't have any attachment to anything, like my husband just said, I just went through life. I just kept moving. Just kept moving through life. And when we first started dating, I was happy because a contractor, he'll get a job for $1,500-$1,600 one day. And he'll come say, look, listen, hold this $800 and let's go somewhere with this money. And he'll go shopping and just throw stuff in the cart. Now remember, my grandma used to like to rob Paul and pay Peter. So she's kind of a little frugal. She a little frugal means you don't cheat. I'm like, baby, we can get that 2 for $7. He like, I don't care what it costs, just put it in the cart. And I'm like, no. So the transition to adulthood, even when you're in foster care, it looks differently. It looks very differently. And this is the key reason why I'm speaking on this. You never know who you bump to in the street. So those people that have 2 and 3 shopping carts, We thinking they got a lot of money on their SNAP card. I'm just saying. I digress. Because I went to the market today, I was like, Lord Jesus, I only got to put that $200 here. But I didn't rob for to pay Pete. I just, yeah. So there's 3 or 4 mental health conditions that always pop up. And these are 3 or 4 mental health conditions that you'll always hear me talk about frequently anytime on here. They're very popular. Anxiety, depression, and PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. As a child, past or present abuse or neglect in the household. Again, moving from foster home to foster home. Sometimes the youth experiences eating disorders sometimes. What do you mean, Kimble, eating disorders? If you're in a foster home that the person is not feeding you, you'll hoard food. You'll keep food in different places. I've had numerous stories about that. The child was keeping food when they moved from the place where the person wasn't feeding them properly, and now they're in a safe place. The child is keeping food. They're hiding food. And so food does go bad if it's not refrigerated. They'll have social phobias. They don't want to connect to anybody. They don't want to have any friends. And then they'll have attachment issues. Resentment can develop in foster care if you permit your child or your adults and adolescents to feel positive or negative emotions about resentment. Anger, jealousy, being jealous. Initially, you'll feel angry. This is why I wanted to ask you. So these things that you never felt or just let slide away from you. So with resentment, anger, jealousy, initially you'll feel angry that you're not being treated fairly. Your needs are not being met. You feel ignored at times. It builds up. This causes a domino effect, and it turns from anger to bitterness, some disappointment, hard feelings, some animosity, and potentially to hatred.
That's all I'm acting up. I act up.
You gotta speak up because
I said maybe that's why I probably was acting up. I was bad. That's what I mean. I was bad. Like you said, I didn't feel angry. I just acted up. Yeah, just acted up. And stayed in trouble.
And I think that's what a lot of men do.
Yeah, I did. My brother, he was opposite. He was opposite. Yeah, me, I acted up. I stayed in trouble. Yeah, and then it carried on to adulthood. Yeah, so I'm good now. But yeah, you're right. I didn't feel anger. I guess I acted up. That's how I dealt with it. Mm-hmm. I guess that's how I dealt with it. I'm not a psychologist. You can tell me better than I can tell me.
I'm just letting you know. Making sure I'm answering you all the questions. So, and it's asking you, what is the cure for resentment? They always say cognitive behavior techniques to stop indulging in the resentment, to forgive yourself, to put a thought between your feelings of resentment and indulging and ruminating. Remember, we talked about ruminating thoughts last week before that, and to acknowledge it. So, I want to really talk about that thing when you say the woe is me, because he talks about that a lot.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
The woe is me.
Yeah, no self-pity.
No self-pity.
Yeah, woe is me. Yeah.
Why do you think people not supposed to have self-pity for you?
Because the way I look at life, especially as a grown man, because like I said, I just don't do it. Woe is me. If my mom and dad was there, because I obviously what happened is God's plan. I guess that's how I look at it. I don't know, but me, I never had no self-pity because I feel a grown man shouldn't have self-pity, and you can't move forward having self-pity. That's how I feel. You can't move forward having self-pity and feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, but you weren't grown when these things happened to you.
Well, yeah, hey.
And that would get this. I'm just using you as a catalyst here. When men have that mindset, they're not going to never go to therapy. From your past, you're living in your present, but you're struggling with your past. Oh, you shouldn't feel sorry for me. You know, I'm a grown man. But that grown man was a child back then. Maybe that child didn't get enough hugs. I know in our family, God rest my whole family just got taken out within 2 years. Guys, 2 years. We lost 3 generations. My cousin just lost his grandmom today. And my family and my grandmother's generation, she was a silent generation. So they didn't say they loved you. They showed you it. She bought your clothes. She made sure you had a roof over your head, food in your refrigerator. That's how she showed you she loved you. It was never voiced. And as we got older, me as an adult, I'm like, well, she never told us that before. She never said it out of her mouth. She never said it. And my sisters and brothers will say, no, I never heard it. Men don't cry. I know my daddy did. And that's what society says, that men don't cry. And so if men don't cry, men ain't supposed to have self-pity either. But when the world is on their shoulders, who do they go to? Who do they turn to? Because he wasn't a man yet. He wasn't a man when he was taken away from his mom.
True.
My sister that I was talking to when we was at the vending thing was 2 months ago. She was not a grown woman when she was removed from her mother. Matter of fact, she was a grown woman when her mother told her, "I don't even like you."
She said. She told us that.
She was a grown woman, so that took her right back to her childhood with her questions. Why don't my mother love me? And so for men, that my mentality is, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. But that inner child is screaming, help me. And so you keep compressing it or numbing yourself to it, not allowing yourself to process those emotions. What happens?
Act out.
You act out.
You act out, yeah. Which is not good. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah.
Let's say, babe, 9:30 or say 9:30.
Yeah, it's 9:34. Somebody's still up there though.
I know. I see him. That's my best friend.
I know that.
Yeah, I see her. Yeah, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. So this is one of those things where I have a man, a hardworking man, a contractor man, a man of God, letting you know I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me, but I acted out. I think differently from everybody else. I don't handle my emotions and feelings like y'all handle your emotions and feelings. So women, when you're dealing with a man and you're trying to understand him, take a step back. Or when you're out there and you're trying to figure out why that teenager is acting out, take a step back. I don't know if 2024 or 2019, because in 2019, the pandemic hit. But 2024 has been kicking my butt. I put up the other day, when I can't fight, God is fighting for me. Help me, Lord.
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom that. Sheree said young Black boys grew up to take the role as a man. 10 years old, they probably was told, you better not cry, better not show any
That's a
weakness.
whole lot. Yeah.
So they grew up being stuffed with all the hurt and pain.
They told us that too. She right. When I started, we crying. You was boy, you crying.
Bottled up in their walking time. Yeah. Yeah, Sheree. Yeah. 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 And it's sad. It's really sad because we have to make sure we're giving them patience. We have to make, and that's everybody. Listen, that's like I just said, 2019, we were hit with a pandemic. We were on lockdown. And I know people in Philadelphia, again, all our city workers that had to go back to work July 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it feel like 2024 has been still kicking our butt. Every day when I wake up and God gives me the opportunity to put breath through my lungs and movement in my extremities, I thank him. But every day before I walk out that door, I ask God for patience. I ask him for patience for me, and I ask him for patience for people out there in the street. Because I've been through some stuff. Again, I just buried almost 2 generations. My daddy is gone. So I ask for patience for me and for people out there in the street. I don't want to go out there one day, Sheree, and be a ticking time bomb. Not Lord have mercy, God. I just pray that it doesn't happen because I don't want to. Anybody got any bail money for me? Because that's why I run on that treadmill every day. I punch on that punching bag. If I gotta cry, I will cry. I had someone on the phone that was screaming, yelling for almost 45 minutes. And she kept saying, are you there? I said, I'm here with you. She said, this sounds crazy. I said, listen, pull over. Because she was driving while she was on. I said, pull over. I am here. You need to let whatever that is out. She was in a really toxic relationship. And she was like, I'm going to go confront this nigga. I said, wait a minute, sis. You cannot go confront this man like that. I said, you need to pull over. She pulled over to a safe spot and she just starts screaming, yelling. She was so emotional. And she was like, now what do I do after this? She took a couple of deep breaths and she got herself together. And she's like, I can't believe you stayed on the phone with me this long. And she said, now what do I do? I said, well, she said, what do people do after this? And I said, normally they either call their therapist and make an appointment, we make a safety plan for them, or they just hang up. And she talked to me for a couple of minutes and the phone went dead. Sheree, you gonna come get me out? Take them back to 1970, girl. Lord. But listen, guys, have more patience with people. We never know. We never know what anybody is going through. And it doesn't matter the age. They can be 80 something years old. We never know what people have gone through. Give somebody a little bit more grace, be a little bit more patient with people, love on people. Our elderly are dying. And that was the one thing that was beautiful about the loss of my family. They were all elderly, they were all old, they were, older. We don't see that as much. There's a lot of young people who are passing away, but in my family, my loved ones were at a ripe age, I guess you could say that is. So just, be a little bit more kinder to one another. If they say it's okay not to be okay, but when you ask somebody, how are you doing? And if they say they're okay, ask, are you really? And I'm being honest with you. Ask, are you really okay? Because sometimes people will wear masks and you would never know. You would never know. I'm going to get some shirts that say, I need a hug. I need a hug. And I'll tell you how many hugs I get in that day. So, David, if you're on here, I'm coming for that shirt. I need a hug. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, baby.
He did well, didn't he, guys?
Right.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Good night. Different subject.
Oh, you want to do it again on a different subject?
Do relationships. We do something different. I like that. I had a break.